Okay, ready?
Off you go, yeah.
I'm Matt Stevens, Reform UK activist, and I'm joined today by Calvin Robinson for a quick interview with him here at the Academy of Ideas event. Thanks for joining us, Calvin. So I just wanted to ask you firstly, in education nowadays, children are taught often what to think, not how to think. How damaging is that for pupils as young as 11, 12? They're actually being taught about, white privilege and Black Lives Matter, and they're not given an opposition view, and it's almost what to think, not how to think.
I agree with you to some extent, but the problem is we already have legislation in place to combat this. So schools have to be politically neutral. They're just not following the law. So what we need is more people to stand up and essentially grasp on schools that are doing it. We need parents to look into curricula and find out what is being taught in their kids' schools and just take more of an interest at what's going on. Because Black Lives Matter, Stonewall, Mermaids, these institutions are politically extreme and they're infiltrating schools through the teaching resources.
Absolutely. So today we were talking a lot about debate and how we need to develop debate. Now, a big issue I think we have with debate is people are labelled as, racist or anti-vax or whatever, and there are serious people who are all those things that need to be addressed. But a lot of the time, social media companies label things as misinformation. For example, a Spectator article by a professor from Oxford University about the efficacy of masks was labelled as misinformation. Now, what sort of happens there is that fuels the fire for name calling, and Did the government need to do more to ensure this whole misinformation, things labelled misinformation too much? Do the government needs to do more, or what do you think needs to happen there for the social media companies?
So there's two parts to that conversation. So on the misinformation side, the government needs to make sure that social media platforms are transparent and clear. If they have a political stance, they need to declare it. And social media platforms need to make sure that either they are a platform or they're a publisher. If they're a platform, they need to allow people to express their opinions unless they're breaking the law. They can't silence people just because they disagree with their political stance. That will make them a publisher and not a platform.
Absolutely.
They can't have their cake and eat it.
Absolutely. And just finally, I had an incident in my college this year where the teacher in the class told everybody that they're all white privileged and we're all racist and homophobic. She said every one of you is racist and homophobic in some way. And she called everybody white privileged. Now I'm 17 and I've got my own opinions, and I'm sure everyone else in that room does. But if I was 12, how damaging are labels like white privilege and telling white people they're all racist? How damaging is that for working class boys?
Well, it's the most damaging. It's not just in the racism argument, it's this tribalisation and polarisation of society. You either have to be a racist or an anti-racist. And I think in this country, most people are just not racist, and they don't belong to either tribe. And it's the same with anything. Trans rights ally or anti-trans. No, I'm just a normal person with normal opinions. Let's stop trying to siphon people off into tribes and boxes that we can label them, therefore to control them. Let's start accepting people as individuals with different views and opinions and take them on board, debate them if we want to, ridicule them if we must, but listen to people.
Thank you very much for joining me today, Cal. We really appreciate it.